Greetings from Paha Sapa, the place where the Lakota people come to pray for the state of the world, which needs it badly. Stan Gibilisco here, proprietor and operator of amateur radio station W1GV, Whiskey 1 Golf Victor. The date, January 4, 2014. The time, 2:47 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And seeing as this RTTY program that I have on the other screen will not display UTC, I don't know what the UTC is. I think it's 7 hours, so it'd probably be 21:48, thereabouts, Zulu. January 4th, 2014. Note the frequency. And note what you're hearing. Bursts of radio teletype. Old Bordeaux code, and I'm copying this stuff. And it is a contest going on. The station that you're hearing is N2 Kilo India, N2KI. He's calling CQ and then he pauses. CQRU. That means he wants Russia. CQRU. Well, he did work a UT station in Russia. So, but the important thing to note here, is that 10 meters. There's some more of that. Note that I switched to the upper sideband filter, which tunes faster. There's that slow MFSK, and it has such an arcane name, WSJT6 or something like that. They tend to operate 76 kilohertz above the bottom of each band. I read about that. It has 4 different tones. It's a synchronous mode. You need to have a computer that is synchronized very, very exactly to standard time. For example, WWV. I'm kind of a purist. I'd rather synchronize to WWV than do it on the internet. Nevertheless, we do need to realize that even WWV is somewhat reliant on the infrastructure, although I suppose they have backup generators. They must. So they could be offline for a while. I'm on emergency power, by the way, right now. My generator is powering the entire Nerd Cave. And you might hear a little more noise than usual for that reason, because the generator is right underneath my antenna. I did hear some other signals on this band. Let's go to 24 megahertz. Yeah, well, that was a signal, obviously. Now, that steady tone isn't perfectly steady. I don't know if you can hear that. But it sounds like maybe it's a phase-shifted version of that WSJT6 mode. Because there's just the most subtle shift in that tone. I don't know if you can hear that. I don't know if you could hear that shift. It's oh so subtle. Almost can't tell it's there, but I can see it. I can hear it. I guess I had a musical ear when I was a kid. They said I had perfect pitch. I sure don't have it now, but
1,600 flyers and distributed them to people outside the 5-mile radius. But it's surprising how little.
Well, that band is open. There's phase shift keying on 21 megahertz. Ooh, there's a lot of radio teletype going on. There's got to be a radio teletype contest going on with all that cacophony. So the bands are doing pretty well. Now, here's the interesting thing that I've noticed about all of this. That's 21 megahertz. Let's go to 18. Surprisingly, well, there's W1AW slant 4. I guess W1AW must be down in Florida. So I can't say I blame them. And the weather that we've got here in the Black Hills, Pahasapa, tomorrow night's supposed to get down to 17 degrees below zero Fahrenheit.
Come down I-40 there, turned off at Williams, went down to Prescott. No, come to think, it's going the other way, coming up.
Well, that band is open and not surprising there. This is about the usual amount of noise on 14 megahertz. A lot of phase shift keying activity. There's that WSJT6. I sure hope I'm getting that right. It's just so arcane. They're so they got to come up with a better name for that. And of course, oh, look at this. 30 over 9. That's about as strong as a signal ever gets on this radio. So the bands are doing great. We really don't even need to go to the chaos band to ascertain that the bands are doing great. But here's the rub. Here is the rub. The rub is that the maximum usable frequency as the sun nears the horizon is going to start to drop if it behaves like it has over the past few days, and it's going to drop precipitously, rapidly, and the effects are going to be dramatic. What's going to happen on each band as we go down in turn, 28, 24, 21, 18, and finally 14 megahertz. These bands are going to die one by one, and the signals will increase in strength sometimes just before they die. And when they die, they'll die within minutes. So tune in if you get a chance over the next few days on these bands, on one of these bands, especially if you're at a northerly latitude as I am, relatively northerly. And check it out. Check out the phenomenon. It's really dramatic. The band is wide open, and 5 minutes later, bam, at least between any two given points, it'll shut down like a door slamming in your face. Really interesting stuff. Stan Gibilisco, W1GV, Whiskey 1 Golf Victor, saying 73. Until next time, so long.